Hello, my name is Alan Smithson, a co-founder at Metaverse. You can find us at metaverse.com, spelled metaverse.com. Today, I'm going to be talking about interactive 3D enterprise training built on our Metaverse engine. So let's get started. We all know that learning from lectures and reading gives us a certain amount of retention rates. But as the way we learn becomes more visceral and more hands-on, the retention rates go up. And we see this with VR and AR. The fact that we're doing stuff, the fact that we're interacting allows our retention rates to go up. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. So interactive 3D enterprise training, we live, our whole world is in 3D. It's time to start learning in 3D. Up until now, we've learned through books, through learning through other people, through mentorship, but the real learning comes when you can put your hands on things, when you can actually touch things, and being able to use interactive 3D in a way that we're viscerally aware of really makes sense. Interactive 3D experiences bring together elements of gameplay and spatial awareness to teach new concepts and reinforce professional training. What are some of the best applications for using this technology? You can follow the Stanford DICE model, and what that DICE stands for is dangerous, inaccessible, counterproductive, or expensive. So dangerous, let's say, for example, you want to train somebody on a nuclear reactor and how to deal with emergency protocols. You can't send somebody in to train in a nuclear reactor. So what ends up happening is they have to build an entire mock-up of a reactor to train in. Well, with using this technology, you don't have to do that. You can use the 3D virtual version, and it gives you access to that. Inaccessible, again, if you have a piece of equipment that maybe is in another country and you want to train somebody before they get on site, you can do that as well. Counterproductive, what if you wanted to have the exploded view of a product? You can't take a product and break it into every constituent part. So this is counterintuitive and counterproductive to break a product into a million pieces, but you can do that using this technology. And expensive, if you have a machine that maybe your clients have all of the machines, you can't really afford to spare $1 million machine and have it sitting there only for testing and training. So being able to free up inventory and also allow more people to train on expensive equipment simultaneously. Some of the 3D training use cases, let's look at Walmart. Walmart is seeing retail training delivered 15% higher test scores with 900% faster training. They're using a company called Striver and 360 videos in VR so that people can learn right away. One of the things that also came out of that was the ability to understand potential management that is just maybe working for the company, but they didn't know that these people have the potential to expand in the company. Sprint had accelerated speed to competency of 300% using their XR retail training. UPS used XR driver training for 4,000 employees, decreasing training times by 2/3. And Global Foundries saved $50 million in 2020 after using XR and AI for manufacturing. And we have been working with Siemens Healthineers for several years now, and they're reducing their training costs by 45%, and they've taken their in-person training from 9 days down to 5 days. So a dramatic reduction in the time to competency. Employee response to immersive training is nothing but positive. It increases employee productivity. With the help of interactions that are 3D and touching, you allow trainees to complete their work in 35% less time than trainees using normal 2D methods of drawings and documentation. I can tell you, reading a thick PDF manual versus doing it and interacting with it is not even the same ballpark. Some of the benefits to employees are obviously you have greater employee satisfaction because it's fun, you're gamifying the learning, but you also enhance technical skills. Multi-step tasks are made easy. Onboarding of new products is instant. And of course, product knowledge training. And this also gives a comfort of learning. It allows people to learn at their own pace. And this is really important. And what we found is that people that maybe have they can either learn faster or they have previous experience can whiz through the learning. And those who need the extra time can take it. And we're not judging based on time, we're judging based on mastery. So it's really important to give employees that ability to get to mastery without the holding up other people in the class as well. So what is the promise of 3D training? It's interactive, engaging. It really includes 3D perspectives. It's easier to update the information because if you have a 3D object, you can update the information real time and publish it to all devices instantly. So when you access, it's not like printing a manual where you have to go print another one. It increases retention rates and allows you to have that information at your fingertips as well. It leads to lower employee turnover. And like I said before, employees can learn at their own pace, and it gives them immediate access to the information. Allowing them to do it on a phone allows them to have their entire training manual on their phone at any given time to pull up what they need when they need it. So let's dive into a case study of immersive training for medical devices. And what you'll be able to see here is I've created a virtual experience here of an ultrasound. And what this allows us to do is look at this ultrasound from any angle, front, top, maybe we want to look at the top. It allows you to look at it from every single angle at your own pace, okay? I can look in and out. I can get an overview of this product. I can learn about each part of the, let's say the display, hardware overview, display. Displays the signal in the brightness B mode, the motion M mode, and the amplitude A mode. I can go back. I can look at transducers, let's say. I can learn about transducers. I can learn about any part on this, and really from any angle. If I want to, maybe I want to look at the back and look at the CPU. Okay, it shows me where the CPU, the power supply, everything. The other thing you can do is using CAD models, we can create what's called an exploded view and show people things that are not even possible. So for example, you can show people right inside the product, right down to the screws, nuts, and bolts and circuitry of the product. So as you can see, this is a super powerful tool for new employees, new hires to learn about your product in ways that are just simply not possible in any other medium. So what can we do there? Let me take you into the teach, try, test methodology. So teach, obviously, we're going to teach you how to do something. Try, you do it on your own. And then test, we're going to test you on that. So let's start with teach. Obviously, we're going to do the power supply replacement. We have an audio here, but I've turned it off for now. But there's audio in any language you want. These panels here can be replaced in any language. So right now, make sure the system's turned off, loosen the 4 hex screws, do not remove them. And if you notice, if I zoom right in, you notice that the screws are kind of hanging there. They don't actually come off. So let's go to the next step. The next step says carefully lift the panel and set it to the side. Great. Next step, disconnect the power supply from the power supply box, remove 2 more screws, remove the power supply, and then insert the new power supply and reassemble it by plugging it in, inserting the new screws, and going in reverse order. So as you can see, this is all happening real time, and now I'm done. I can complete that. Now, when I'm done that, I can go to try. And this is really cool because now you can try the power supply replacement. No matter where I touch, I need to touch these screws here. And let's say, for example, I'm over here and I touch anything over here, nothing works. Okay, it only works if you touch the right thing. So this is really important. So it gives you this sense of, I need to do this now. And this may be not that complicated, a power supply replacement, but when this gets into hundreds of steps, you really want to know that people understand this viscerally. So it gives them the ability to test on this. And of course, we'll put it all back into place. And there we go. Okay. So now that was the try, and the last module is the test module. And of course, all of this can be connected directly into your learning management systems. So you can have an SSO directly into your learning management system, and this can keep track of everybody's information. Okay, let's answer the questions. The screen fails suddenly, it turns off, and only the power LED is flashing. You may check the power cable, the machine, and it makes a screen of noise, but it does not turn on. So let's try, I think this would be a board power supply. We'll go to the next question. You need to check that the power source is working. You need a tool to find out if the power source is generating electrical current. We're going to need a multimeter. The screen suffers physical damage, and despite that fact, if it's turned on, the initial image is distorted with dead pixels. Okay, so we're going to have to replace probably the complete display. And okay, using your mouse, select the name of the component from the list below. Display goes here. Convex array, I think it's this one. Linear array is this one. Pulse controls are this one. Transducer controls are this one. Here, oops, this one here, I believe. Down here, maybe. Disk storage is, I think the disk storage is here. Lower arm axis is this one here. The lower arm axis is here. Great. Power supply is back here. CPU is here. And the wheels are obviously the wheels. And then I go next. And let's see, I got 3 out of 4. And I can review my knowledge here. I got the first question right. Second question right. Third question right. What did I get wrong? I got one of these wrong here. Perfect. So there you go. That's an example of what you can do here. And we'll go back into the presentation. So the reality of interactivity is simply that you get employee access to product and assembly and inspection from anywhere in the world using the devices they already have in their hands. We have employee safety during interactive exploration. There's nothing they can do to hurt themselves. Product safety, you can learn about the product, how to properly remove the power supplies and these things. We can also insert audio, so if you do it wrong, it kind of, the bells and whistles go off, maybe a flashing red light, something like that if it's important for safety. And employee knowledge testing, of course, you can test every step of the way. And this is really, really great when you're trying to train a lot of people on a new product or a lot of new people on an old product. So we talked about real-time testing. So what kind of testing can we do? We can do multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blanks, multiple answers, matching, numerical answers. We can have enter some text. Now with AI, we can actually have it interact with you as well. And of course, we can talk about the ecosystem and assembly and processes. We can build this and interact with them. We can animate things with error detection. And of course, we can have next step testing. So the other thing we can do is import videos and other websites using video imports or iframes from any website in the world into the 3D world. Some of the configurations we can use for XR training that make the 3D elements smart. We can turn things on and off. We can add videos or 2D images, turn them on and off. We can hover to highlight a location or a call out. We can play animations. Obviously, you can see the animations that we did earlier. And of course, we can test knowledge through quizzes. We can also gamify this and make leaderboards. There's nothing more fun than competing with your peers for, a case of beer or a treat at the end of a training seminar, maybe some candy. What are some of the analytics that we can get out of here? We can measure all sorts of things, especially in giving the fact that we now have the Z dimension or the Z dimension. We can measure duration of time spent on a question, time spent on a hover, how long they wait for that, user knowledge scores, assembly processes, access the user's location, we know where they are. Did they actually take the scheduling or the training rather? And of course, the total amount of time and duration that they spend on the training. Well, there you have it. That is my presentation on enterprise interactive 3D training. And I'm really excited. Thank you so much for having me, AWE, for the invitation to present to you guys. And if you want to learn more, you can go to metaverse.com, spelled METAVRSE.com. My name's Alan. Thank you so much.